Manchester United fans, it was a truly devastating week. Not only did the club suffer a heartbreaking defeat to Tottenham in the Europa League final, extending their trophy drought and, crucially, ensuring no European football next season, but the aftermath has opened up a whole new Pandora's box of questions regarding player futures. And at the center of it all? Young winger Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho has quite frankly put his future at Manchester United in serious doubt following some very pointed comments after the final. He questioned manager Ruben Amorim's decision to play him for 20 minutes, in what was arguably the biggest game of the season. Let's dive into what happened and what it means for the club. In Bilbao, for the Europa League final, Amorim made a significant call by benching Garnacho in favor of Mason Mount. Garnacho, despite having played every round leading up to the final and scoring in previous showpiece games like the 2024 FA Cup final and the 2024 Community Shield, only entered the game in the 71st minute. His frustration was palpable, and he didn't hold back in his post-match remarks. Garnacho publicly stated, "Up until the final I played every round helping the team. And today I played 20 minutes. I don't know." And then came the line that sent shockwaves. "The final will influence my decision, but the whole season. The situation of the club. I'm going to try to enjoy the summer and see what happens afterwards." This isn't just a player upset about playing time. This is a direct questioning of his role and hinting at a potential exit. Adding fuel to the fire, Garnacho himself posted a social media image 6 hours before kickoff. Upon learning he was benched, the image depicted him celebrating in those aforementioned 2024 finals. A very clear message of his disappointment. And his brother, Roberto Garnacho, took it a step further, posting on Instagram that Alejandro had been thrown under the bus. Roberto wrote, "Working as no one else. Helping every round. Coming from 2 goals in the last 2 finals. Just to be on the pitch for 19 minutes and get thrown under the bus." Strong words from the family. Reflecting deep discontent, this social media storm followed manager Ruben Amorim's post-match comments, where he seemed to reference a big miss by Garnacho in the semi-final second leg against Athletic Bilbao. When asked if he should have brought Garnacho on earlier in the final, Amorim retorted, "How many times have we had this conversation? And it was the opposite? Some players come in, like Mason Mount, against Bilbao and change the game. So now it is easy to say, who missed the big opportunity in the first half against Bilbao? Yeah, Garnacho. Of course. Now it is easy for us to talk about a lot of views." This exchange reveals a clear disagreement in perspective between player and coach, hinting at underlying tensions. It's not the first time Garnacho has found himself in hot water regarding his conduct. Last season, he had to apologize to then-manager Erik ten Hag after liking social media posts that criticized the Dutchman. More recently, in December, both Garnacho and Marcus Rashford were dropped for the Manchester Derby. Amorim explicitly stated it was due to training performances, game performances and engagement with teammates. And in February, Garnacho even apologized to the squad for walking straight down the tunnel after being substituted against Ipswich. While he's undoubtedly talented, these repeated disciplinary issues are a concern for a club that needs stability. The timing of this outburst could not be worse for Manchester United. Missing out on European football next season is a massive blow, financially and in terms of recruitment. For a club like United, absence from the Champions League is an instant loss of at least €80 million. Potentially up to €150 million for a deep run. Missing out on the Europa League means further losses from prize money and commercial bonuses. On top of this, United is already facing scrutiny under the Premier League's Profit and Sustainability Regulations, or PSR, which allow clubs to lose no more than £105 million over a 3-year period. This financial pressure means player sales are a very real solution to comply with these rules. And this is where homegrown players like Garnacho become incredibly valuable. When a club sells an academy graduate who cost little to acquire, that transfer fee is almost pure profit in the accounts, which helps significantly with PSR compliance. This makes Garnacho, despite his talent, a prime candidate for a summer transfer if United needs to balance the books. Garnacho isn't the only player casting doubt on his future. Captain Bruno Fernandes also suggested he could leave if the club decides to cash in on him. Amidst links to Saudi Arabian club Al Hilal, Fernandes stated, "If the club thinks it's time to part ways because they want to do some cashing in or whatever. It's what it is. Football sometimes is like this." This indicates a worrying trend where even integral players are openly discussing potential departures. Defender Luke Shaw echoed the sentiment of doubt within the squad, questioning if the players are good enough to be here following the defeat. "It's hard to put into words the season, but I think for a club like Manchester United, it's not really good enough," Shaw admitted. "I think definitely me and I think all of us have to question ourselves tonight. Are we good enough to be here? Because this club, this season, it's not acceptable. We know that and it's down to us. I think we have to look at ourselves. Something has to change." The speculation around Garnacho, who was already linked with Chelsea and Napoli in January, will only intensify now. His talent is undeniable, but he is far from a finished product and needs to work hard on his consistency and maturity. His social media conduct and public statements are not sending the right signals to a club in dire need of stability and professionalism. Given United's financial situation and the need to comply with PSR, a summer transfer for Garnacho is looking increasingly likely. If he does stay, the expectation will be for him to significantly improve his game and his attitude. Because if he delivers consistently, no manager, not even Ruben Amorim, will be leaving him on the bench for big games. The next few months will be crucial for both Alejandro Garnacho and the future direction of Manchester United. "I played 20 minutes. Garnacho puts Man Utd future in doubt." Bilbao, Spain. The disappointment for Manchester United following their Europa League final defeat to Tottenham has quickly turned into internal turmoil, with star winger Alejandro Garnacho publicly casting doubt on his future at the club. The 20-year-old, who was benched for the final match on Wednesday, made his frustrations clear after playing only 20 minutes in the crucial fixture. Garnacho, who had played every round leading up to the final, questioned coach Ruben Amorim's decision, stating, "Up until the final I played every round helping the team. And today I played 20 minutes. I don't know. The final will influence my decision, but the whole season." The situation of the club. His brother, Roberto Garnacho, further fueled speculation, posting that Alejandro had been thrown under the bus. Amorim's defense and broader club concerns. Amorim defended his tactical choice, pointing to a missed opportunity by Garnacho in the semi-final and highlighting the impact of other players like Mason Mount. However, the controversy surrounding Garnacho's limited role only intensifies prior transfer links to clubs like Chelsea and Napoli. Garnacho isn't the only one raising questions about Manchester United's direction. Captain Bruno Fernandes also hinted at a potential departure, stating he would understand if the club decided to cash in on him. Defender Luke Shaw delivered a brutally honest assessment of the season, questioning whether his teammates are good enough to be at the club. "It's not acceptable," Shaw declared after United failed to secure European football for next season. A summer of uncertainty at Old Trafford, with the team ending the season without silverware and missing out on Europe. The spotlight is firmly on Manchester United's upcoming summer. Garnacho's public comments, coupled with the club's financial situation and the need to comply with Premier League regulations, could very well lead to a summer transfer. The sentiments from Garnacho, Fernandes, and Shaw paint a picture of a club in flux, facing a critical offseason as they aim to rebound from what many consider a highly disappointing campaign.